Siren. And ready, go.
Yo, 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 yo! What up, man? Welcome to Mezzo Forte Sportz. That's right, bar talk for the super fans. We're chilling out with the crew. Who do we have in today's edition? As always, your fearless host, Andy BMD, is in the studio.
Go.
And me, of course, your amateur hype man, super fan art. We have a lot to talk about, and we're going to be talking about it South Texas style. So without further ado, take it away, Dan.
What up, everyone? How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome to Mezzo Forte Sportz, coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas, to your ears. Provide some sports time for your free time. What up, this your host, NEBMD. How's everyone doing, and how did your team do this week? Art, it's been a crazy... I guess we say that every week, right? You know, that is just... It's always
Sometimes we mean it more than most, yeah.
But just thank you so much. First of all, I want to give a round of applause for everyone following us today. If you haven't, go ahead and follow us. Subscribe on Facebook, Twitch, on YouTube as well. Check out our videos. We'll go ahead and start posting a little bit more on those. Some highlights as we continue into the new year. This new year, we are gonna do a sort of like a transition into an actual podcast format. It's gonna be really cool. We're going to involve a lot more audience members, meaning more like of you guys, more super fans actually coming into the show, giving your opinion and stuff like that. So, it should be pretty fun. Yeah, round of applause. Yeah. Thank you so much. Again, if you guys, whoever's following, has followed us and likes us, we love you forever. Yeah, so, all right. So, besides that, obviously, we did have a pretty busy weekend. It's been kind of just, I don't know, like the NFL is, like I was telling you, for football, the NFL, that 17th game,
man?
no, the 17th game now matters more than ever. You're like, nah, it's just another game, dude. Now it matters more than ever. Dude, that was, so you see the AFC, talk about that. NBA, we are seeing a little bit more of spurts of the teams. Obviously, it's still a lot of season to play. We are like getting near like what the first third of it, I guess.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Something like that, yeah. So now we're kind of seeing how everyone is kind of proceeding with that. And we'll talk about a couple of records that we have been a couple NBA records that have been broken already as we speak. Yes, yes, we're a round of applause right now. But we'll talk about that later. Some MLS updates as well, and I think we'll give us a couple of what is it? MLS on Diamond Talk, a little Diamond Talk, couple smidges of Diamond Talk here and there.
A little McNugget of Diamond Talk.
Yeah, so so we'll go ahead and kind of get started with that. So where do you want to start, huh?
Well, first of all, it's good to be here on this Tuesday evening in front of you and all of our viewers and listeners, anybody on whatever platform. Just give a cheers out to y'all in the holiday season. I got some beers I'll show you later, some fancy Christmas time beers. But no, definitely there was a lot to watch over the weekend. MLS, we saw a new champion get crowned. Yeah, those of you into Formula One racing over there, keeping up with that, there was a crazy race over there out in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for Formula One to crown their champion. We had Curry just recently do a record-breaking performance. We'll talk about that later on. Dallas Cowboys doing good. Spurs had to bounce back from a loss over the weekend, but they came in strong against New Orleans. Talk about that. And of course, Dallas Cowboys were in effect beating a divisional rival in pretty convincing fashion, even when they're shorthanded. And there was a crazy Monday night football game that just happened in less than 24 hours ago. That was a pretty exciting game.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But no, just glad to be here, man. We're going through the week, getting each week closer to the final. Well, going towards Christmas time, but also ending out the year 2021. Crazy ass year. A lot of good, a lot of bad. But yeah, we're gonna finally put it behind us.
Oh no.
But yeah, let's enjoying this nice winter. We're almost officially, I think, in winter. I think next week is the first day of winter. Even
Oh
though in some
dang,
parts,
really?
I mean, technically by the calendar, I think it's like December 22nd or something like that. I don't know. Even though we're experiencing like almost summer kind of weather sometimes, it fluctuates here in Texas. I don't know. I say they're really here in Laredo. Like the weekends will be like in the 50s at night and 60s in the day, and then Monday through Friday we're back to like the 80s. Like what the hell gives? I don't know
Nice.
what kind of how to dress for each day, but I digress. We got a lot to talk about. Just quickly, how have you been, man? You been doing good over the weekend?
Yeah, it's been good. Just like I said, just been. I watch a lot of NFL. Just been reading up on like just kind of how like the playoff pictures I've been looking at. I've been reading also a lot on like kind of like Spurs insiders, a couple podcasts and stuff like that. Have you guys ever want to check out a really nice Spurs talks podcast? Check out Pounding the Rock. So it's actually like SB Nation has every team has their own like page or whatever, and the Spurs page is called Pounding the Rock. You can actually check it out, poundingtherock.com. Those dudes are like legit. Like they will bust out historical like Tosco times two, dude. It's crazy. Like it's like everyone. So they're everyone is an expert there. So like and then that podcast is actually one of a couple of the other editors of and admins or whatever, and they're really good. And I was I was kind of listening to them. So we'll talk a little bit about the Spurs talk about as well. But I don't know. I feel good. It's just one of those things where like you gotta feel good, but about the future. But I feel like the future is gonna be pretty good. So I'm pretty excited, just like watching the Spurs. Honestly, they beat the what's it? They beat the Warriors or whatever the other day, so that was exciting. But it's just also for me, obviously UTSA. We're still kind of figure we'll talk a little bit more about the bowl games and stuff like that next on next
On
episode and
Thursday.
on Thursday anyway. But still, after you kind of swallow the pill after and everything, I still feel good, dude. I don't know. I feel like this bowl game. Not that it doesn't matter or whatever, but like like that's just the end result of the whole season. But we'll talk about that as well. But good vibes, dude. Good vibes. Look right here. Good vibes. Good vibes for all the teams. All our teams. That's how it
Nice.
is.
No, yeah, on Thursday we'll have our college bowl game special because we're already going to kick that off for some games on Friday and Saturday. Uh,
Bro, what do you want to do?
I think first we should we'll talk a little bit of local soccer here in the stateside. The
Nice.
2021 MLS Cup.
Let's see. Let's go ahead and put some music for you. This one's a little too dark.
Right, put whatever mood music you want.
There you go. There you go. There you go. All right, bro. Go for it. All right, guys. So we're gonna let's talk a little bit about some in the world of soccer. So obviously, I know MLS is growing power. No, not really, but we're they're just getting there. And I think that any type of just exposure, just like more than anything, dude, more than anything to the American crowd, I think it's really good. But I'll go ahead and let you obviously talk about that a little bit more in depth, and about just like kind of some headlights. Go for it.
Nice. Thank you, Dan. And we'll get into our MLS Cup. We actually had the championship game of this past weekend. Sadly, it didn't feature Austin FC or Dallas FC or even the Houston Dynamo. That's okay. We still had a hell of a game that transpired. So, just to set up for the stage, uh, through rain and wind and cold on a Saturday afternoon at Portland's Providence Park, the Timbers fans, because it was the Portland Timbers versus the New York FC. Well, New York City FC rather. And the Timbers fans, they numbered up to about 25,218, creating an atmosphere fitting for a championship game that only a few places in the country hope to replicate in the sport. Portland, they actually bill themselves as probably Soccer City, USA for decades, and they've had a few opportunities to show why. But now on the elevated stage, where they've had far few in between visits to go this far to the championship game, here was their shot for the Portland Timbers. Now, the 2021 Golden Boot winner, Valentin Castellanos, of New York FC, he scored his side's only goal of the game, and that looked as though it would be the game winner for much of the contest, only for Felipe Mora to score a sensational equalizer for Portland, which with virtually about the last kick of the 90 minutes of regulation, because it was 90 and they added 4, and I think he made that kick on with 6 seconds left for the whole game to be called. So when Mora, he equalized 1-1 in the waning moments of stoppage time, pandemonium ensued with a sense of maybe a storybook ending was soon to follow. The Timbers remained the aggressor in extra time, having worn down the high-intensity pressing from the visiting New York City. But the winning goal eluded them, and the match actually went to penalties in front of the Timbers Army, as they're called. So with neither side able to find a winner in extra time, penalties would be needed to decide the league's champion. So with Felipe Mora set to lead off, and their own Diego Valeri, the heart and soul of Portland's club for most of its time in MLS, to follow, the Timbers had reason to maybe be confident going into the penalties. Well, how it played off was that Mora had Portland's opening penalty saved as New York City FC captain and goalkeeper Johnson. He dove to his right to save a pretty weak effort in that attempt. The Timbers would respond with the next shooter with their own goalkeeper, Steve Clark, saving New York's Alfred Morales' effort low and to his right. So Johnson, the goalkeeper, the NFC, he would make his second straight stop thereafter, this time on Timbers legend Diego Valeri, to give NCFC, NYCFC, that's too many damn letters. I'm just kidding, New York. He gave New York the advantage once more. The dude was just stopping everything going his way. And it's a lead the visitors would give up, contemplating a 4-2 win, resulting in New York City FC lifting their first piece of silverware in the club's 7-year history by defeating Portland Timbers on the penalties. It was 4-2 in the penalties. So this loss was particularly cruel for Valeri, who has accomplished nearly everything there is to accomplish in MLS since arriving from his native Argentina in 2013. He won the MLS Cup in 2015 and was the game's MVP. He was the league's MVP in 2017 and a 4-time All-Star. But his future with the club of Portland, it's becoming a little bit unclear now. Over the course of the season, his role had diminished, and it's possible, if not likely, MLS Cup will be his final appearance for the Timbers. To have scored in penalties to help secure the championship in front of his home fans, that would have been the ultimate send-off. Alas, it wasn't meant to be. So if the MLS Cup is in fact Valeri's final game with the club, his legacy he leaves behind is still unmatched. So, I saw the game live. I'm sure you saw the game live. I just had to blur it out loud, what the F? Oh my God! They went to overtime. I didn't even think they were going to extra time. It was definitely a thriller. It was raining, the cloudy, rainy game. The fans were just raucous. I think at one point a fan like threw like a beer can or something at one of the New York FC after they scored their goal and they were celebrating. He hit him like square in the head. I mean, that guy's banned for life, but it was just the kind of atmosphere it was, man. Um, and then, who doesn't like penalty kicks? To win the whole thing, the entire season on the line, you put your best players out there, and it's all on the goalkeeper's shoulders. And I mean, just New York, they stepped it up. Mainly their goalkeeper, because that guy had some key saves. I think he's got a pretty large wingspan. Hopefully, Johnson is his name. Maybe we'll see him on the American team if we go forward in international play. But Danny, yeah, what are your thoughts on the MLS game in general?
It was good. It's kind of crazy how, you know, in other sports, all the other uh, teams and kind of, around the world and stuff like that, like countries around the world, rather, they they kind of look at the U.S. for, like for the standard, right? NBA, gymnastics, like stuff like that. Where, in this case, soccer isn't obviously the best thing that the U.S. has to offer.
Yeah.
So the U.S. it's kind of the backwards effect, kind of the reverse thing is happening. They're kind of trying to use a lot of the European feel. So they're trying to kind of do like an American European style of soccer, right? Where in America, like just so you know, like the different styles and stuff like that. In North America, CONCACAF and stuff like that, it's a huge focus. In North America and South America, it's a huge focus on individualism. So you being able to handle the ball, with your feet and like in a small space, throw it to the guy or whatever, and the guy can handle it back and stuff like that. Like kind of pass, and then make a goal or stuff like that. Where it's just like kind of really loose, but it's like one person should can juke like one, can go in with one, juke one or two, three people or whatever, and everyone can kind of do that. In Europe, it's very based on like your, if you're a defensive guy, that's what your role is, dude. Your defense. If you're mid, you're mid. So like you have very specific roles where like it's based more on like the long ball, and like it's a little bit more technical, where it's like kind of like, think about it kind of like college football. It's more like NFL, more like kind of strategic and stuff like that, where not really like NFL, but more a little bit more. Now it's a little bit more loose. They bring Messi, is a perfect example of what a European player is not. He is the perfect non-European player, but he's playing in where? Europe. So they're kind of getting getting those styles in. But the U.S. now, you see it now in the MLS, where they're kind of like defining their own style, defining an actual American style of playing soccer, where you see you do see a lot of like Hernandez and Frankfurter, like stuff like that, where it's like from different countries. But where do you see that also? NBA. Where do you also, well, not maybe NBA, but where do you see like the Olympics? Like the Olympics, there's a lot of, there's Americans, they're different color, shapes, and sizes, different, nationality or nationality origins, but they're American, right? And we're the only real country that can, there's other countries, stuff like that. Now everything else, but we're one of the countries that can do that. But I'm glad that finally the U.S. is, they go to a penalties. People are like, oh, it went boring or whatever. But that's not it. It's the fact that, first of all, the fact that the fans were into it. That's one.
Oh yeah.
Not just the fans, not just the fans there, but like the fan, like the MLS audience in general. Like it's kind of like the NBA, like when like us, obviously we're gonna watch everything now, right? But regardless, say like when the Spurs would lose and the playoffs, would you still watch the playoffs?
Yeah.
But why? Your team lost because you like the sport.
I demand entertainment.
So it's like
So yeah,
so it's a so in this, but as a fan, you still watch it. So that, I mean, not, it might not seem like it, but it does help. With the viewership and the exposure and stuff like that. Even though these teams that you just hate, like, god damn it, but it's the NBA Finals, bro. How can you
oh
not
yeah,
watch them?
good example about that. Years, maybe a decade or a little bit over a decade. It was back when LeBron is basketball. So when it was LeBron and his new big three out there, Miami with Wade and Bosh. They were facing Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Kidd. It's like I fucking hate both these teams. But it's got an NBA championship. I'm gonna watch it because I just want to see how it goes. So yes, even if your team's not in there, yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, Austin FC wasn't playing, but there's a championship game. I had to respect it. I wanted to see who was the winner and how it played out live because it's exciting. I mean, I got excited. I didn't expect to be because I mean it was 1-0 for the almost a good portion of the whole game, and then bam, last 6 seconds of the whole damn game, we tie it up. The whole fan base is cheering like the won the damn game. Uh, you can't tell if it was rain or beer that it was just flying everywhere. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
dude. It was, and that's what I'm saying. So, as a fan now, like, of soccer, you know, um, then the fact that the MLS is getting a little bit more exposure, and the fact that more fans are watching it consistently, even if their team is not actually playing, that matters, and that matters a lot. Yeah, for viewership and stuff like that, but really for like branding or whatever, because that like enables the MLS to kind of start branding, make money or whatever, right? But really start defining their style of soccer, dude. Because like the U.S. is desperately to just trying to redefine itself after it missed the World Cup. I mean, that's very bad, dude. Missing the World Cup is very bad, like, very bad.
Yeah,
Um,
you don't get like the same shot until like 4 more years.
yeah, imagine like missing the playoffs without Tim Duncan, or imagine if like the Spurs didn't win at all, the 2013 or either 2013 or 2014, like, when Duncan just went out like that. Like, it just feels kind of empty or whatever. So like, that's that same feeling was the U.S. when they lost, like when they didn't qualify. I was like, dude, what? Because it was like not their golden age, but kind of like, you know, like there are a lot of the players who's gonna be their last World Cup, and I mean they couldn't go, and it was crazy. So now the fact that it's kind of defining itself a little bit more, the championship, obviously congratulations New York City, but really like just like the MLS as a league, if you're a fan, even if you're not really like an MLS fan, but you're just a soccer fan, you like football, they have it in Spanish too. Just put SAP. I
Right?
don't know
Yeah.
what it is.
People don't realize there's a button.
Um,
There's a button somewhere to do that.
Yeah, but more than anything, honestly, and it's like, like for me, and don't get me wrong, I would support Mexico national team until I die, forever. I'll support the U.S. After my other favorite teams or whatever, just because you kind of have to, but besides the point, like, just as a pure fan, it's good to, yeah, to get exposure here, dude. Because if soccer world gets exposed more in the U.S., it's not, yeah, it's not really, it's about the money, but it's gonna be more about the talent. So like these kids here will be able to go like to Europe and back and stuff like that, where like, I want to play soccer professionally, but instead of me going to Europe, you know, since I'm like 14, 15, 13 years old, I'll have a normal childhood here in the U.S. and I'll actually have like really good talent and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Like
That's kind of, I know it was a long take, but like
no, no, definitely.
it's really significant. just because it really is, dude. Like now the U.S. is now they're finally gonna the World Cup is coming up, Qatar. So we'll see how that happens. I don't have big expectations, but it doesn't really matter for the league. It's good, and honestly, for Austin FC is good. The only thing that sucks is tickets are gonna get more expensive.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, whatever. But we gotta go at least to one. At least to one. Like next year, obviously, but or maybe like a spring training or something.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something nice and open to the public. That's then you won't have to break the bank to see. Uh, Congratulations again, New York City FC, on your brand new shiny championship trophy. Here's good luck to you next season. See maybe if any of your players get poached by the Premier League. And we're looking forward to Austin FC next year. And to a large extent, Houston Dynamo, Dallas FC. Anyway, just one other thing I wanted to knock out before we go into our other major sports here in the stateside is just we had another champion crowned. This time it was on the raceway in the form of Formula One racing. I know we got a couple of fans out there who are diehard about it, so I just want to quickly make some honorable mention. It was the pretty much last race of the season, and all the weight was definitely felt on the shoulders of mainly the two champions who have been the top names all season. So it was Verstappen. I think I said it right. Max Verstappen representing Red Bull versus Lewis Hamilton representing Mercedes. They both entered this race out there in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix on level points. A feat that has only happened once before in the Sport 71 history when Emerson Fittipaldi and Clay Ragazzoni entered in 1974 in the final level. It was winner take all. After all the excitement and build-up, the race didn't disappoint. There was a bit of controversy since the first lap. Both title contenders having their own share of their own luck during all the laps. But in the end, the 24-year-old Verstappen, he claimed the race in the champion's title. This Verstappen and Red Bull celebrated a remarkable final lap. Mercedes, on the other end, they were a bit furious because there's a bit of controversy involving one of the safety cars that came in, and supposedly you're supposed to step aside or whatnot. So I don't know. I'm not sure the specifics about it, but it's controversial. Mercedes, they were furious. Their boss, Toto Wolff, I'm not making that's his name. He was screaming for, I think, one of the officials named Masi or Michael over the radio, which transpired. He said, and I quote, Michael, you have to go back a lap. His saying the results shouldn't count from only the lap before the safety car came in. The official was like, Toto, this is a motor race. So Mercedes, they submitted a protest over the result, which was later rejected by the FIA. So all things said, Red Bull's the winner. Verstappen, he's the guy on top. Congratulations. It was definitely a race that came down to the wire. So that's all. That's good. That's all I have to say on Formula One. It's over. Season's over. I'm not sure when season resumes. But definitely, Mercedes is going to have a lot of bad blood over this off season. So yeah, this is Formula One. What sport do you want to knock out now, buddy?
We can do NFL.
All right, NFL pros.
Pros 14, week 14, week 14.
All right, vision.
All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and start. We are gonna move right into our Gridiron news. Obviously, we're gonna do some NFL Week 14 reactions. Dude, it's getting crazy, dude. There's a lot of stuff going on right now in the NFL, and I don't know. I feel like this year more than ever, it's one of those years when you really don't know who's gonna win or anything. You know what I mean? Was it the AFC? There's like 7 and 6 teams. So
yes, AFC is just crazy right now with the current record standings.
But yeah, I'll let you do the run through.
Cool. our week for 14 wrapped up yesterday. So just a few of the scores around the league. I know we did start last Thursday with the Steelers Vikings. Vikings edging them 36-28. Uh, the Browns and the Ravens, they started Sunday. Very, very close matchup. The Browns, I mean, have been on a bit of a losing streak, I want to say. The Ravens are just having trouble closing out games of recent. So the Browns won 24-22. The Titans, they beat the Jaguars 20-0. In effect, um, already knocking off the Jaguars for any postseason hopes. So they're pretty much just playing for pride or the next draft pick. Then sorry, Jaguars fans, as it wasn't your year. And who knows? Maybe it's not Urban Meyer's year. I mean, a lot of speculation. Maybe players and coaches are starting to butt heads with the coach, and maybe he'll be outed. Even though the GM and the owners, they don't think Urban Meyer might be out. But we're definitely something to watch on that. The Chiefs, they made a statement saying they're back, beating the Raiders 48-9. I think in Arrowhead Stadium, I want to say. The Saints, beat the Jets. No big feat, 30-9. Cowboys, we'll talk about them right now. They were able to win 27-20 against divisional rival Washington football team. Falcons beat the Panthers 29-21. Seahawks, they did a number over in Houston. Sorry, Texans, 33-13. The Lions couldn't get another win. Sorry, they lost to the Broncos 30-10 in a game where they were honoring the late player. And what was it? Late player, wide receiver. What was his name, Denny? I keep forgetting.
Demarius Thomas.
Demarius Thomas, late Demarius Thomas, rest in peace. They honored him. I think with I think his touchdown pass or run that was about 88 yards, the same number that he played with. So it was a fitting tribute. I don't think that was by design. That's how it happened.
No, I think also I was gonna say that. I think that just happened, but specifically, what they did was the first part or the first play of the game, they got only 10 men, and was it I forgot who it was, receiver. I think it was Sutton. He went all the way to the 88-yard line. And he and then so they got the penalty for 10 man only, and then he came out in the 88-yard line, and then he just kind of like kneeled down or whatever, and then like he just went back.
It was a very touching tribute, and I mean, all players from all around the league, owners and staff, they all had their own sentiments on social media and whatnot. But just to see that in a game performance like that, was a really touching moment. But kudos to the Broncos. They were able to get a win in that tribute game. Moving on, Chargers, they were able to trounce the Giants 37-21. 49ers Bengals, that was interesting because you don't know which Bengals team you're going to see this week. They didn't get blown out per se, but 49ers edged them 26-23. The Bills Bucks, that was a pretty exciting late afternoon game Sunday. The Bucks had the lead for the majority, and then it looked like the Bills were seemingly going to come back in style. Almost reminiscent of that UTSA game that y'all almost lost a 20-some point lead. I think the Buccaneers were up by like 21, and that they squandered that. I mean, they got the win, but it was ugly. Packers Bears.
That was a good game. That was a chess match, dude. Like on the field, like with the coaches. That was a damn good game. Like that was a good football game. Like an analyst, like people that like to analyze football games, that would be a really good game to analyze. No, just saying.
Oh, no doubt. And then the Packers were the nightcap. They won 45-30. I'm going to talk about the Rams-Cardinals game in a bit. The Rams won 30-23. But just going back, what were your thoughts on the Bucks-Bills? Was it more of the Bucks doing good things? I know Tom Brady, he broke a record for like consecutive completions. Well, not consecutive completions, but career completions. When he passed to like Mike Evans at some point during the first half. So pretty much Brady's got almost any record you can hold as a quarterback, I want to say. Josh Allen on the other end I know he was kind of limping a little bit. He got injured with a bit of an ankle injury. Though he's day to day now. Uh, so what did you think? Was it just that the Bucks were so good, or the Bills were just so shitty?
I mean, I think it was. I don't think it was either or. I think the Bill. It's because the Bills just. I
Been
feel
slumping.
like there's just something about yes. There's just something about them that like you don't want them to trip, but like your whole like you're kind of like behind them, like expecting to. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. And then like it felt very reminiscent of like the Patriots game, like Patriots Bills games, like very much. I mean, obviously not because of defense and stuff like that, but just like Brady, just like you know, like you know, straight up. He was rushing. He rushed for a touchdown. Brady rushed for a touchdown, dude.
yes, he put
So
himself on
he
the
was
line
just
and
like,
got that
just
touchdown.
like cutting through all the defenses, just reading, just calling audibles, like nothing. This guy's playing a Madden game. Like he's just playing a Madden game. And say, oh okay, no, pues este, oh, okay, like boom, dude, it was crazy, dude. Like when you see it, you're like this guy, and because I think they put it out. This was on Fox, right?
I mean,
Uh,
I think so. Yeah, I would like
yeah,
to
because
say.
it was Fox or whoever it was, but it was with Tony Romo.
Ah, yeah, yeah, Romo, yeah, yep,
And
he was
and it
announcing.
was like it was just going. I was like, dude, like Brady is. I mean, he's just him. Like Rogers, like truly, like all like Breeze now. Obviously, he's retired, right? But like I think Rogers and Brady are just like one of those last of the Mohicans that just like, look, dude, I don't even give me a play. I'm just gonna audible out of it anyway. Type of like
His instinct. He's got milliseconds, and he knows already
like
where
he
his
just
receivers are.
like he's just reading like you like he's seen everything, and it's crazy how um now the specifically the Bucks. I like how they're incorporating Fournette a lot more. Them being able to run the
Yeah,
ball, bro. It's because just being able to run the ball, people don't understand the value of being able to run the ball, like in the NFL. It just, it's just, it opens up so much. You see the Cowboys. When were the Cowboys, really, really good? Last, were extremely dominant, right? When they had not necessarily when they had a good O line, but when they had a good running game. Obviously, the good O line comes along with that. But Dak, Zeke's been hurt, probably been doing all right and stuff like that. So the Cowboys are kind of struggling, and it
yes.
really matters for like the really good teams. Like the Bills, could not run the ball to.
Well, that's the thing. In the first half, I think Josh Allen had more rushing yards than his own running back.
That's what I'm saying.
And all the while, my dad's like, he's going to get hurt. He keeps running like that, he's going to get hurt. I mean, he's got a good stride. He's got the build to take the contact, but it eventually happened. He got hurt.
Yeah, and
They
dude,
relied too much on him trying to run.
he had like 7 receivers. He threw it to 7 receivers. You, dude, you 54 attempts. Dude, you can't. That's not how you win. Like you can't be throwing it 54 times. Dude, that's like 36. Was it 36? Hold on, let me get that
I mean,
calculator.
you're liable to get picked or have too many three and outs if you keep trying to throw it in like third and shorts. Like, where are you throwing it on third and short? Like, I don't know. A good balanced game is when running is
Mm.
involved, like you mentioned.
Yeah,
Uh,
and obviously you see how it did end in overtime. That does matter. Um, like you said, the Bills were there. It was very, 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 very. I thought they were gonna win. Honestly, I thought they were gonna get that last touchdown.
the defense stepped up. The offense really stepped it up in the fourth quarter, scoring like, I don't know, 14 unanswered points in like 4 minutes time. Like, damn. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
and then like was it the I saw the last play. Like that's what I'm saying. Like Brady, like everyone's doing their own thing or whatever, and then this guy was like, oh. Look at that guy over there. He's just running, on the stride. The fucking, was it Perriman or whatever? Takes it home. Win. Game. So it's I don't know. I think that was a good game, dude. I really like watching that game. Just kind of like I knew it was gonna be good. And what this specifically taught me was obviously Brady's he's an MVP, so he's that huge level. But I think Josh Allen is at that level in terms for talent, and just kind of the tangibles or intangibles or whatever. But I just think he just needs to your famous quote. He just needs to pull the trigger. And actually, like pull the trigger less, I guess.
Yes, get some guy to run the ball, get your tight end involved a little more.
And like don't run, dude. You carried it 12 times. He carried it 12 times. He carried it was it 5 more times than his running backs. And honestly, like that is a coach thing. I'm not gonna lie. It's like I'm pretty
calling.
I play calling
because of that.
I'm pretty sure you can't. He can't just be auditing or whatever, right? Doing audibles all over the place. But I think even then, dude, like it's just I don't know. That speaks a lot to the coach. Josh Allen is doing good. He's gonna continue growing. But I think the Bills just kind of I don't know. I don't know what they need, honestly. Like
they'll have to figure it out, man, because they only got a few more weeks left.
Yeah,
and they're definitely on the outside looking in. We'll talk about the division leaders and what the wild card scenarios are more on Thursday, but we definitely need to get into our more popular segment with football. Our gridiron talk is them Cowboys. So what's up with those Cowboys? Well, beating the Washington football team looked far from a guarantee for the Dallas Cowboys after their big league shrunk, but Coach Mike McCarthy, the legend himself, is plenty confident winning in a close game, and says that's good for his team. So Micah Parsons, he sacked Taylor Heineke, twice, and forced a fumble that was returned for a touchdown. The Cowboys made good on McCarthy's quote, "We're going to win this game," unquote, guarantee by holding on to beat Washington 27-20 Sunday and snap their rivals' winning streak at 4. Dallas, they led 24-0 and 27-8, before Kyle Allen replaced Heineke and led a 73-yard touchdown drive, and Cole Holcomb intercepted Dak Prescott and ran it back for a pick 6. I was furious when that happened. Washington's comeback bid came to an end when Allen fumbled with 2 minutes 24 remaining on the game. The Cowboys, they stacked themselves to such a big lead thanks to their big first half showing by the defense. Dallas forced four turnovers and had 5 sacks. Duran Armstrong, he recovered a fumble Parsons forced and returned it to 37 yards for a touchdown. And Randy Gregory picked off Heineke and forced Allen to fumble on the sack the day after he was activated off injured reserve. Now, Armstrong and his teammate celebrated his touchdown with some of the many Cowboys fans in attendance for what felt like a home game for the leaders in the NFC East, complete with the custom benches on the visiting sideline. Dak Prescott, he threw a touchdown pass to Amari Cooper and 2 interceptions. Ezekiel Elliott, he ran 12 times for 45 yards through a knee injury. The Cowboys 9-4 distanced themselves from the Washington 6-7 in that NFC race. Now, with Tony Pollard being inactive because of a foot injury, Elliott got the lion's share of carries before the game turned into a blowout. Zeke passed 1,000-yard scrimmage for the 6th consecutive season and came back in the 4th when the game got close again. Now, Micah Parsons, he had 2 sacks and became the first rookie since Javon Curse in 1999 and the 3rd in NFL history to have at least one sack in 6 consecutive games. One of those sacks came on the 3rd and another during the 4th. Next up, Cowboys are going to be visiting the New York Giants on Sunday for another divisional rival. Even though the Giants are nowhere near the middle of the pack, By far the biggest crowd to witness a Washington home game this season. Heineke, he got sacked 4 times. He exited with a left knee injury. Heineke finished 11 to 25 for 122 yards. He did have a 43-yard touchdown pass to Cam Sims in a diving 2-point conversion. After a miserable first half, I saw the 2-point conversion. It was pretty legit. Antonio Gibson, running back, he fumbled for the 6th time this season. Allen, he was 4 of 9 for 53 yards, and Washington's streak came to a screeching halt after allowing 18 points in the first quarter, more than it was giving up per game over this past month. Now with Allen replacing Heineke as QB, Washington has now had at least 3 quarterbacks throw a pass for the 4th consecutive season. The most recent time the organization had one QB all season was when they had Kirk Cousins back in 2017. So a lot to digest for Ron Rivera and company over there in Washington. They're still in good shape, maybe for a bid for a wild card. That I don't know. They're just gonna find out. I mean, definitely they need Antonio Gibson to get back mentally and just to put all these fumbles behind him because the dude's just like a beast. He's definitely the future of Washington and that run game. Uh, it's just they can't have any healthy QBs right now. That's I guess one of their Achilles heels. But let's get Danny's take on this Cowboys game. I'm sure you saw it or saw bits and pieces of it. How did it make you feel like a Texan and a man? The Cowboys win. It's
It
like
was, dude. I think that I don't know. The NFC is hard. Hard to judge right now. Just in general. Um, it's. I feel like it's very top heavy. Obviously, your Cardinals, Packers, Rams, Bucks, and then Cowboys. So like I feel, so I feel that now I don't know, dude. Like and I know people, obviously Dak, and people are saying, he's playing worse than he was last time and everything like that. He's kind of regressing. I really don't think so. I just think the Cowboys. I think what's happening is that Cowboys are playing down to teams, and you can't do that. You have to play up to teams, like put like up, because the level of competition, dude. Because honestly, the Washington football team isn't that good. Their defense is pretty good and everything like that. They have a pretty good running back and everything like that, though. But they're not really that good, Whereas like this shouldn't have been as close as it should have been. But it's good for Washington football team because they see have glimpses of how their future is going to be. For the Cowboys, you did have a lot some people missing, stuff like that, and honestly, like we can't dilute how important chemistry is between the teammates. Specifically talking about COVID. Not being able to talk to them, stuff like that. The O line shuffling around. What is it? The stuff like that. The big thing is for me the big thing was what is it? What's his face getting suspended or getting kicked out? Lalo or something. The offensive lineman.
the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, Cowboys. I'll find him right now.
Because there was like it was a legal play on Dak. But I mean, one of the Cowboys players
Lalo Collins.
Yeah, he started a bit of a scuffle.
So stuff like that. I think the Cowboys have the talent, dude. I think they have the talent to match. But then I see the Packers. And then I see the Bucks. And then I see the Cardinals. And I see the Rams, dude. Like, can you stop Aaron Donald? Like, dude. And, well, I mean, the Rams, he's not playing with him. And, what's his face? ¿Cómo se llama? Oh, my God. Linebacker. Von Miller?
Well, Von Miller, he wasn't playing recently, but I mean, he'll be back soon. But yes,
Yeah, like,
Donald and Von Miller.
like in the playoffs though, like, because these are like who you would be playing in the playoffs or whatever. Essentially, you know,
Yeah,
you
those.
you might get a like a who, uh, might get like a maybe a Chargers maybe, like maybe like a Titans. Oh, even the Titans will probably give the Cowboys a lot of trouble too though. But I'm sorry, no, I'm talking about the like, my bad. Talk about like maybe. Oh man,
Like NFC opponents that they
NFC
could
opponents is
face.
like, bro. There's like, I
The
see that,
Rams,
dude.
Packers,
I see the NFC, dude.
Cardinals.
Look, NFC. Not like top teams. Top 1 and 2. 9, 6, 10, 9. You know, Cardinals, Rams. 10, 6, 10, 6. God dang.
Like 9 and 10 win teams.
So it's like I don't even know who the Cowboys. It doesn't really matter. But I'm saying I think I guess at the end of the day I think they might be able to play maybe win one playoff game. Just basically purely on the talent that they have. I know that if Dak does step up, I don't think it's just Dak, and I don't think it's just like really just that he's not doing a good job throwing the ball or anything like that. It's just his decision making. I guess it's like not that it's bad, but he just needs to be more careful with the ball. He needs to be more careful with his body too. He just come back from injury like not that long ago, and just kind of. I feel like he's trying to do a little bit too much. Just like kind of stay, not stay in your lane, but kind of do what you're really good at, and that's it. Just obviously if you're gonna have be running the ball, have just kind of stay behind your old line and stuff like that. That I think it's very fundamental stuff. But I honestly, dude, the thing about the Cowboys, I think it's just the coaching. It's just really weak. Like compared to all the NFC teams. That's the only bad thing about the Cowboys. It's like the time management and stuff like that I really really worry. Like once they actually get into the playoffs. So now here's a question: If the
I might
Cowboys
have an answer.
if the Cowboys do go to the playoffs, but they lose horribly, do you think they'll fire McCarthy or nah?
I will say no, just because. I mean, last year was the COVID season. I think it was his first season. Now he's in season 2. He's barely, we finally got some success on the defensive end, something Dallas hasn't been known for in quite a while, with a new guy Diggs and Parsons. Uh, so no, I think on the basis that Jerry Jones, the the living fossil himself, he freaking had Jason Garrett for a good part of a decade, and each season was almost mediocre, more mediocre than the last. Why did we hang on to Jason Garrett for so long? I don't know, but that definitely hindered us. Uh, rebooting the Cowboys, having Jason Garrett. So I'm just saying, based on that, at least give McCarthy, 4 years, whereas you gave Garrett all those good part of a decade. Things aren't looking too bad. I mean, we're a lot better than last season. We're, like I said, defense is looking pretty hot right now.
Oh! And then before, sorry to interrupt. I'm just gonna throw like a little sidebar.
And last year, Dak was hurt.
Yeah, that's true. But just for a sidebar, so and Micah Parsons is the truth, dude. He is the truth. I'm just telling you. Like, I think he might be Ray Allen ish. Like by the end of his career, like seriously, for real. Like he has those. I feel like he has those type of instincts. Well, almost Ray Allen, almost. ¿Cómo se llama? Palomalo-ish. Like instincts. Like where he's just like
Ray Allen, the basketball player.
Nah, I'm talking about Ray Allen. Not Ray Allen.
There you go.
What? Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis. Oh my God, Ray Allen. Oh yeah. All right,
Yeah,
put that.
definitely a young bull He's just always seeing those targets on the back of these QB's jerseys, and he'll get them.
Yeah, and yeah, like Ray Lewis and like with like Palomalo kind of instincts where like he's just quick like that. He's good, dude. The Cowboys just like, I mean, I know they're trying to get like Curtain, get a good corner and stuff like that. Which I think they should still try to get one next year. But anyways, this I think that they lucked out with, honestly, with both of them, with Diggs and with Parsons.
Oh yeah, definitely good scouting on that end for those players. Um, Positions that we definitely need. Yeah, put some pressure on the QB, on the opposing quarterbacks, and also put some pressure on the wide receivers with some speedy young talent that have good instincts uh, and good hands. I mean, Diggs could instantly be a receiver just about anywhere.
Yeah.
He just loves the hunt, being on the hunt on the defensive end, and the same thing with Parsons. Dude, just he'll bull rush. He's, more often than not, he'll find ways to get around the linebackers, and definitely some key acquisitions. I mean, those guys are definitely the reason why we're at the record that the Cowboys are currently at, without a doubt. And Dak being how he is, Pollard, unsung hero, the dude. It always pains me to see him do all the work, and then they put Zeke in to get the touchdowns. That always like, damn, Pollard. Just give it to Pollard, man. He deserves it.
Yeah, no one has him on fantasy. That's why.
Fantasy aside, the dude definitely works his ass off.
Just playing,
and the stats don't show he gets them touchdowns that he works harder for.
Oh yeah, no, for real though. He is yeah, he because he's a good running back. I mean, he is. He's the thing is, like, I was telling, I was actually talking to a coworker about it, how nowadays there's not, like, it's not a featured back type of system anymore. You normally now you have like a handoff guy, or you might not get like 30 carries or like 35, almost 40 carries. You might get like 25, 28, and then get like the other guy gets like 10, 12 or 15, whatever, however the team plays. But like now, like it's a little different. So that's how you see now. You see like a lot of running backs. Obviously you get hurt. The running back position normally they're the ones that get hurt the most because they get contact most of the time. So the backup obviously becomes a star player, and then it just kind of next man up, and that's how you start finding your stars and stuff like that. I mean, a big one, dude, honestly, is Arizona. Like, in Arizona, what's his face?
Kyler Murray?
No, the running back.
Yeah. Shit, I should know his name because he gets me all the points.
Connor. James Conner.
James Conner.
Remember he was with Pittsburgh or whatever. Remember? Yeah, he's back on Le'Veon Bell, and then Le'Veon Bell left, and then James Conner was replaced him, and he did really damn good. And then the next season he got hurt or something happened where they let him go or something, or they got traded.
Now they're biting themselves in the ass for doing that.
Yeah, so now he's at the Cardinals, and yeah, it says, look, James Conner ended up being a steal for. So like, was it James Conner after 4 years and still became a free agent in March? He landed a single 1 year, $1.75 million year with the Cardinals. Damn. So far, he has 964 yards from scrimmage and 16 touchdowns. Dang, dude, he's about to get a 1,000-yard season.
He's definitely risen like the feet. No pun intended. He's risen from the ashes to be the Phoenix for Arizona. One of the more premier backs in the whole league at the moment. So no, definitely he's part of the reason. I mean, even when Murray was out and it was Colt McCoy running the snaps, Connor was the main guy to help kind of like keep the ship afloat. And they did win some Colt McCoy games. Based off of Connor.
Like, yeah.
But now with Murray and Connor, that still wasn't enough to face the Rams yesterday. I mean, from the first play to the last, it was Aaron Donald, the guy you were talking about earlier. And the Rams defense, they showed they're still a heavyweight in the NFC West. Six-time All-Pro. He finished with 3 sacks. The first on the initial play from scrimmage, and the last as time expired. While Matthew Stafford, he threw 287 yards, 3 touchdowns. He led the Rams in that victory on Arizona, 30-23 yesterday. Cardinals, I mean, they're 10-3 still. The first team to actually reach the 10-win mark. Will have to wait at least one more week before clinching their first playoff spot since 2015. Murray, he threw 2 interceptions. He did lead the Rams in touchdowns. Uh, Now Cooper Cup and Odell Beckham Jr. for the Rams, they both caught touchdowns. Uh, they won their second straight game. They pulled within one game of the Cardinals in the division race, and they look rejuvenated following a 3-game losing streak in November. Cup, he had 13 catches, 123 yards, the eighth his eighth 100-yard game this season for the NFL's receiving leader. Cardinals, they did have a chance to tie the game in the final seconds after recovering an onside kick, but a holding call wiped away Murray's long run on the first play of the drive. Oh, that was devastating. Arizona couldn't produce a last second miracle on the final play. That's when Donald, he charged Murray and the quarterback fell on his ass. And instead of he got run over by a 280-pound defensive lineman. Uh, so definitely a learning experience for the Cardinals. They need to stay humble in defeat, take away some things they need to change. The Rams, they better not get this victory to the head because they were definitely losing quite a while, and I don't know who they're going to face next, but definitely those are two teams you're very going to likely see in the postseason. Whether or not one of them, I mean, Cardinals, they ain't going to be a wild card. Yeah, Rams, aren't they a division leader? This is when you answered any.
Yeah. Sorry, sorry, I'm like looking at something else. Sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, sorry. What was the question? Sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, in the NFC, in the gauntlet that is NFC, you're either going to have to face the Rams or the Cardinals
Oh yeah,
to even get a chance at Super Bowl glory.
that's what I'm
And
saying.
right now, they're hitting it on all cylinders.
And that's what I'm saying, dude. I mean, what if they get the Bucks? Like it's over, Like, you know,
It's not technically over. They get the Bucks.
that would be a crazy game. I think that would probably be the most watched game out of the whole playoffs, besides
Bucks,
the Super Bowl.
Bucks Cardinals,
But well,
Bucks Rams.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I can see that.
because well, okay, let me back up. Dude, it's because the Cardinals just need to. It's because they're like at the finish line, dude, and like I feel like they're just kind of about to trip. You know what I mean?
They're putting too much on Murray's shoulders to run the ball a lot.
Yeah,
He is a running QB, but that's
specifically,
susceptible to injury.
specifically, like I think that's gonna be the finals or the. Yeah, I think the NFC. I think that might be either Cardinals or Rams, Bucks. I think the Packers are gonna end up meeting the Bucks and I think Brady beats Rodgers.
Okay, that's true. Can't sleep on the
But
Rodgers and the Packs either.
the only way I can see like that not happening is obviously if the Packers start. I mean, because the Packers need like their number one seed right now, so they need to be. If they get their first bye, then obviously they get the first bye. But I think that if they like get a first bye, they might get like someone like like the Cardinals or the Rams. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a hater, but I know how, like when you say that, like obviously it's something gonna be a hater would say. I think that the Packers are just gonna lose, and Rodgers gonna retire. He's gonna be like, nah, f this, dude, I'm done. And I feel like the Packers are gonna lose bad. Like it's gonna be like, God dang, dude, wow, go home. Who the hell's Rogers? Like, who is this guy? Like, put the rookie in, please. Like, I mean,
Bold statement.
I mean,
Bold prediction.
yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm just kind of throwing it out there. Like I said, it sounds like hater talk, and it kind of is hater talk. But but I don't know. I think I think Rogers. It's just kind of like on the hinge where he's just kind of like, whatever. I don't really care. I feel like I feel like his attitude is, I guess since I'm not really doing anything, I'll play some football type of stuff. And I mean, the crazy thing is he's that good that he's able to do that. But I think that the Packers, the reason why they are really good right now is obviously because of the defense. But if they can, like, if they play like someone like Brady, or they play someone I don't know about the Rams, Cowboys, dude. Like I just don't trust them yet. They just need to win, dude. And they're gonna play. Aren't they playing the Cardinals?
The Cowboys?
Yeah, they're playing the Cardinals in 2 weeks, and so they're playing in January 2nd. So the second and last game. So, yeah, 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 yeah. So that game will literally tell you what the playoff season is gonna be like, or what the playoffs is gonna be like. Literally, because they play the Giants. Okay, they play the Washington football team again. Okay, and then they play the Cardinals. They play Eagles in the last game, but that game doesn't really matter. But yeah, the Cardinals, that game, it's gonna really measure the Cowboys, or the Cardinals with the Cowboys or whatever. And for the Cardinals themselves, I just think that they just need to stay consistent. They have the Rams. They had the Rams. They lost. They have the Lions, Colts, Cowboys, and Seahawks. So all those are pretty winnable games for them. So if they continue on, they can get the number one seed, dude. Technically, I mean, yeah. They're it's a Packers, Bucks, and Cardinals are all 10-3. Dang. So that just kind of shows you how like the NFC and AFC's kind of doing or how heavy that is. I think the Cardinals, dude, might surprise people. I think there's gonna be either or. They either might surprise people or won't. But we'll see what
Nice.
Murray has for us.
Well, one final note that I want to say before we move on from pro football talk is that right now there's been a major uptick in COVID-related absences around the league. Like for instance, this Rams game that happened. Well, after the game, well, guess what? Right, Odell Beckham Jr., 8 other players are now on the reserve COVID-19 list. I think their defensive back Tyrell Burgess, tight end Bryson Hopkins, defensive back Juju Hughes, offensive tackle Arlek Jackson, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're out a couple of guys. Cleveland Browns, they're also got their own guys like I mean Jarvis Landry. He either is going in or was out of the COVID protocol. Offensive guard, tight end Austin Hooper. Uh, the Kansas City, they might be without their star defensive lineman Chris Jones, who was on the list. I mean, they play Thursday, so like for these guys on the Chiefs, like they have like 24 hours to test negative 2 times apart, or something like 24 hours for symptom free. They had placed Josh Gordon on the reserve list on Monday. Defensive back Tyron Matthew, the Honey Badger. Uh, he was, let's see, defensive key being, he might also be on the list. I'm not sure. Point is, as it becoming very alarming now to see so many big names sidelined, and who knows if games might be postponed or if wins might be vacated because you don't have enough men. You couldn't even sign enough guys off your practice squad to have a full roster. That's how I'm fearing could happen. So hopefully, COVID's ugly head won't uh, disrupt this full season or have games postponed or whatnot. So that's just something notable to watch out for uh, as we move on to our week 15. And we'll talk more on week 15, our division leaders, wild card race, more of that on Thursday. Uh, Before we move on, I did want to talk a little bit about college football, but we'll primarily do that on Thursday. The only notable thing I wanted to say was we had a Heisman Trophy winner announced for the 2021 season. Surprise, surprise! It was Alabama's Bryce Young, sophomore. He's the 18th quarterback to win the Heisman in the past 21 years. I think he's like the fourth Heisman in the Nick Saban era, behind Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, and that wide receiver that they had last season. I can't remember his name. So he edged out C.J. Stroud of Ohio, Kenny Pickett of I want to say Iowa, not Iowa. Doesn't even matter. And Aiden Hutchinson, the dude was a beast from Michigan, should be in the. He can be playing for the Lions on Sundays. Here's Hutchinson. So yeah, that was the Heisman race. And one more notable thing is tomorrow, Wednesday, is actually the National Signing Day for college football's 2022 recruiting class. So the best of the best at a high school, this is the earliest they can start signing their commitments to whatever big name schools like the Alabama, OU, USC, Miami, Notre Dame, Texas. Um, Hopefully, there'll be a big splash tomorrow, enough for me to compile a report on some of these big name high school athletes. I can talk about that more on Thursday once we see some of these signings going on. Uh, so now that we got football out of the way, you want to just close out the evening with some basketball?
Let's do it. Hold on, let me put some
Okay.
music. Put some
So
music.
yes, basketball was going on today. I was watching some of the games that are going on right now. Uh, you the Raptors at the Nets, Warriors at the Knicks, Suns Trailblazers currently going on right now, Pistons at the Bulls. I think the headline that's going to dominate any basketball headline for today is Steph Curry. Chef Curry. He was on the brink of the NBA's career three-point record after going 5 for 15 to win over the Pacers recently. Uh, but now, on this evening, he finally surpassed Ray Allen for the new three-point king of the NBA. Uh, Became the all-time leader in three-pointers this Tuesday evening when they were playing against the Knicks. He knocked down Ray Allen's record, 2,974th three-pointer of his career. I think that was the one that got him the career. Uh, this record-breaking shot came with 7 minutes, 33 seconds left in the first quarter as Curry knocked down a 28-foot shot from the right wing off of a pass of Andrew Wiggins. Warriors quickly fouled and called a timeout so that Curry can enjoy the moment. He received a big hug from teammate Draymond Green as the players streamed to the floor, congratulating him. He took the ball that he was clutching in his arm and handed it to his father, Dale Curry, who was on the floor at Madison Square Garden, gave him a rousing. Everybody gave him a standing ovation, and rightfully so. Curry went back towards the center court a few moments later to give a hug and congratulations to Ray Allen himself, who was in attendance. Curry, who was 33, is an early favorite to win his third career MVP award for the season. He's definitely the top guys in the running. He has made a three-pointer in 152 consecutive games, a streak that he started back December 1st of 2018. That streak is second only to a stretch of 157 games with at least one three-pointer from November 13th of 2014 through November 3rd of 2016. This guy's impact of the game is insurmountable. He definitely shifted from, having big men to now protecting beyond the arc. He on the pace he's currently at, he can be Mr. 3000 by this season. I'm already predicting it. By the end of the regular season, he'll already have 3,000. That's no brainer. That's only like 24 more threes. And also Ray Allen. Ray Allen was the 10. Just to get your perspective on it, I know we spoke about it before the show. What is your take on this record-breaking performance and what he has meant to the game with his new generation of players?
Yeah.
Danny.
So obviously, congrats to Curry. As much as I hated him, when he played the Spurs, it's like one of those like love and hate things. Yeah, you know how like when we played Kobe and stuff like that, it was like oh Kobe, but but you love just playing against them. And I feel like Curry is like one of those players where you just kind of love playing against. Just like as a Spurs fan, just Curry is like Curry is the best shooter that that's ever lived, that's ever touched the basketball as far as I know it. He just is. They were talking about specifically like on the TNT show, or whatever, how like, oh, these he's just doing records that it will never actually be broken ever. And they're like, no, actually, I don't think so. I think that they actually might break. Someone might actually end up breaking the record, just because of the three ball. Everyone is shooting the three now. You used to shoot the ball what, 15, 18 times. Then what, 25, 26 times. Now teams are shooting it 35 times. 30, 35 times a game, shooting
True.
threes. Like, what makes you think that in like 10, 15 years, we're gonna be shooting 53s? Like, why not? I don't think it would ever. I don't know. Honestly, I don't ever get to that.
No, the game is trending towards having more sharpshooters, so it's not improbable to say some guy eventually could maybe match or beat the record or come close to it.
But
Uh,
but but Curry is just the best shooter that's ever lived, dude. It's just his shot is just it's just automatic. And it's just like not like his. He has no range. Like he has no. He has unlimited range. He has no like short, long. No, like that's his range is the basketball court. Like literally, for him, like shooting a layup and shooting like a half court, kind of seems very very similar. And it's crazy how. Like I said, you're saying like the impact or whatever that he's had to the game. Specifically, just for the fact that, like you said, like he got rid of the center position, and specifically, and that's a big thing. Again, one of the reasons why people get popular, right? Is especially with kids, because they role models and stuff like that. The kid is like, hey, does this person look like me? And you see the very successful people and stuff like that. So someone that looks like you kind of aspires you to be that way. So, like how Messi, when he first started, he was really small. He was really quick. People were like, whatever, this guy is not that good. And then he ended up being one of the best players like ever. So Curry is kind of the same thing. Dude, like, someone, like Shaq, or even Charles or whatever, Charles Barkley. Those dudes were big dudes. Like they're like The Rock looks small compared to Shaq. Like these dudes are like giants, like not normal people. Like literally everything is tailored suit for them or whatever. Point being, where like Curry is not a big dude at all. He's just not. He's not spit. He's not. Just like a, skinnier dude or whatever. But now he allowed for kids that guy looks like he's skinny or whatever, and he can shoot the ball. So now he opens the ability for a kid, kid that's like, maybe I'm not the big. I'm pretty tall. I'm not the tallest kid, but I can shoot the ball pretty good. Look at this guy, what he's doing. So it's like a big role model thing.
Technically, Muggsy Bowles is the inspiration for kids that are shorter than average to feel they can play at the pro level.
And not necessarily the shortness. It's like kind of the stature. Because, Curry's not like someone you would like. If you would pick a fight with Curry, you'd probably win. He's not a guy that you'd be like, oh, like I'm not scared of him. Type of thing. Not that you would, he's just not built that way. Whereas like say Draymond Green, yeah, he's not that much bigger than him, but he's kind of built that way. Like, or and he, and Curry does get, he has ankle problems and stuff like that, so he does get hurt, but he just, his range, it inspired kids to like shoot the ball from wherever. It's like, oh, you're just chucking the ball, dude. You're not chucking the ball. You're shooting the ball from 50 feet out. Like, that's hard. And I don't know. I think obviously, congratulations. I think regardless if people ever break his record, I still think he's the best shooter that ever lives. Just
Well, to put it in perspective for this game, ticket prices to the Warriors game, they doubled overnight in price from 448 as the median list of price to about 895, uh, according to sources. That's a 169% increase since December the 1st. All anticipation for everyone to witness this record being broken. Um, so definitely, it's good to see Curry at his full strength right now, and we can't wait to see his sidekick Klay Thompson finally go back into the fold, and they can be the Warriors of old. Uh, but I mean, they shouldn't even be considered dark horse. They are a championship winning horse. Uh,
yeah, seriously, they are. I mean, it's just and you could say like, oh, well, they don't have KD. I mean, they still have, like I said, I think Curry has a chance to. It's because it's on the playoffs, dude. Because that's what they always get him. They're like, oh, well, Curry didn't show up in the finals, in the playoffs, or whatever. Well, I mean, it doesn't really need to. He has Clay, and he had KD at the time. But I still think that now more than ever, I think he's playing better than he's ever had. And I think he can. I think they can win the championship. I'm actually. They're my favorite, just a little bit, but I think they're my favorite to win the whole thing. If the Suns don't,
spoil it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. But
that's nice.
Yeah, and he's on the West, but that's just me. What do you think?
No, I definitely. I mean, the Warriors and the Suns, they were both like on a very good win streaks back in November. That like they just seemed ahead of the rest of the pack out there in the Western Conference, and I mean, it took one or the other to end the win streak of the other team. Uh, I think Devin Booker got hurt and he was able to miss. He had to miss a game, so there's that one factor. They were one star down. Um, but no, if both teams are in full strength, they're definitely odds-on favorite to meet each other in the Western Conference Finals. It's not very as far-fetched as you might think. The Lakers aren't beating much people. Clippers are kind of short-handed. Luka Doncic is looking a little bit. He's not a sophomore because I see he's got that sophomore slump. Uh, I don't know. He's just kind of not the same Luka. I think because he got a little bit out of shape. Not gonna lie. And but the Joker out there with the Nuggets, he keeps getting tossed out of games. So it's anybody's race in the West. But right now, the Suns and the Warriors are poised more than others. But enough about this. The Warriors. We're gonna end the night with some Spurs talk.
Yeah.
How about it? We cannot have a night without Spurs talk.
There you go. Put the siren on. Put that siren on.
And yes, we are Mezzo Forte Sportz After Dark. We have been unrated. We have been unedited.
After dark.
Fucking after dark, bitches.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, hold on. Sorry. I haven't put the music on. Hold on. Oh my god.
I can wait.
There you go. Oh,
yes.
Salute to that. All right, my bad. Wah.
All right,
guys.
After dark.
After dark.
We're after 10. We've been talking smack all night. And now we can actually cuss when we do it. Shit. Fuck. Just a quick roundtable. Are we drinking anything alcoholic? I would be, but man, this Firehouse Subs Cherry Coke, this is a medium. It's a freaking 44 ounce right here.
Nah, I'm just
finished it, bro.
I have some apple. What's apple? I have orange Fanta. You guys know what's up. My
I like it.
My fruit flavored drinks, apple, orange. Banana.
Hey man, it's all good in the hood.
Yeah, I know.
And my alcoholic drink after this cherry coke is going to be a Carbuck. You'll shoot your eye out. That's a good little. I think it's an amber vodka. I'm not sure. Definitely a very reputable brewing company out here in Texas. That's because Shiner Cheer was a little bit out of stock at my local HEB. Sad to say. But no, it's definitely a good consolation beer. You'll shoot your eye out by Carbuck Brewing Company. So, cheers to all of our viewers out there. Thank you for continued support. Give us a like, subscribe. If you hate on us, just keep it clean in the comments. And if you got a comment, maybe we'll answer a question or two. Who knows? Shout out to our viewers currently out there. Evan, he was watching earlier. The guy of Devil Dog Detailing. I know the guy. Who else was commenting? Studio 13. Day, what up? Talking about some Chef Curry. I don't know who this Caitlin Gibbs is, but she answers our stuff. So that's cool. Kudos to you, whoever you are out there. And anybody else listening who was quiet and just creeping on us, what's up? So, to end the night, like I said, we can't talk basketball. We can't talk Mezzo without talking a little bit of Spurs. So, recently, Jakob Poeltl and Spurs. Well, Jakob Poeltl himself, he had 24 points, 12 rebounds. Derek White had 24 points in the San Antonio Spurs. They beat the New Orleans Pelicans 112-97 this previous Sunday evening. San Antonio outscored New Orleans 29-15 in the final quarter while shooting 60% from the field during that fourth. Their guard, DeJounte Murray, he had 10 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists for his fourth triple-double of the season. Meanwhile, Derek White added 9 assists to 8 rebounds. San Antonio has won for the 5th time in these past 9 games, which is looking pretty promising. Spurs backcourt combined to shoot 14 for 30, combined to commit just 3 turnovers while playing 34 minutes each. Meanwhile, the Pelicans star forward Zion Williamson, he suffered a setback in his rehab from an off-season surgery to repair a fracture in his right foot. Team didn't give a timeline. New Orleans, sadly, they're 6-13 in the West. Against Western opponents. The Pelicans' last victory in SA was back in February 28 of 2018. Excuse me. So what's up next? Well, Murray and the Spurs are gonna host one of them Ball brothers and the Hornets. Charlotte Hornets, 15-14, 8th in the East. They're gonna visit the Spurs, who are currently 12th in the West. Spurs are 6-8 on their home court. San Antonio was 6th in the Western Conference, shooting 35.1% from downtown, led by Joe Wieskamp, who was shooting 100.0% from the three-point range. I don't know how true that is. I'm just reading. I just broadcast this stuff. The Hornets are 7-10 on the road. Charlotte leads the NBA in three-point percentage, shooting 38.3% as a team from downtown this season. Some injuries on the Spurs. Zach Collins, he's going to be out for an ankle. The Hornets, they're going to actually be without LaMelo Ball, who was out for health and safety and protocols and such. They'll be also missing Mason Plumlee, also the same health safety protocol, and Jalene McDaniels, who's out for also health protocols and so on and so forth. So they're shorthanded, but nonetheless, they are the Hornets. We want to get more wins. I think Coach Popovich, he's just 18 or less games for setting the record for all-time winningest coach in NBA history. Knock on wood that we're able to view that during the season sometime later on. So right now, Danny, that game is tomorrow versus the Pelicans on your home court. Definitely, I mean, there are no pushovers even without their stars. So just fingers crossed. We have a W to report when we come back on Thursday. Any comments on the Spurs currently where we at?
Yeah, so obviously for the Spurs, you guys know how I feel. Super back and forth about them. Obviously Spurs fan forever. But I don't. I think we're gonna be in the bottom 4, obviously of the West. But we're playing really good. Again, Murray is just balling. Short of almost a triple double. Honestly, I mean, in the Spurs. I mean, dude, he had like 14 assists the other day. Like, God. So I really like just how like the young team. Obviously, you have Dejounte, you have White, you have Keldon, Lonnie. Um, Honestly, the one that is kind of crazy for me was Jacob Poto. Poto was
Jakob Pertl.
Jacob Poto.
I mean, I know how it's spelled, but they say Pertl.
Poto, yeah, Poto. It's
Yeah, yeah,
Poto,
yeah.
yeah. It's I think that he got 24 points or whatever, but I think and 12 rebounds, he got a double double. But he's actually anchoring the defense, and that's like it's big, obviously in the Spurs system and stuff like that. Derek White they come up a pretty good last time, and Keldon Johnson just needs to score, dude. I think he just needs to be more aggressive and just score, just straight up like get in the paint and just run people over, or just get some free throws in and stuff like that. DeJounte had a triple double, so it's like one of those where it's still a young team. We'll still kind of need to worry about it. I think we'll get a couple lottery picks here and there. I think that the obviously with Pop, almost nearing his that milestone. It's pretty exciting, to be able to see something like that. People are like, oh, it doesn't matter, and it really doesn't matter for Pop. Like, it really does it. Like, it truly does it. Like, people think he puts on a persona, like he actually doesn't really care. But that's neither here nor there. Obviously, I think that's more for the fans. And as a fan, I'm excited for Pop. He deserves everything. He's just really good at what he does. And now, obviously, as we transition, depending on how we transition out of the Pop era with the Spurs, I feel that even as if he leaves or something, I feel like he'll still be part of the organization in some type of form. This is one of those things where you've been there so long, you feel, yeah, you might leave for like a month, maybe like 6 months or whatever, but you'll be like, all right, bro, like I need to go back.
And more than likely, it'll be one of his, I won't say his disciples, but one of his, uh,
Proteges.
one of his proteges. There you go. That'll end up replacing him. Hope. I mean, maybe Becky Hammond could be one of the first female head coaches in the league. I know there's definitely a lot of other uh, proteges of Pop that are currently head coaches out there. Ime Udoka, I think of the Boston Celtics. He
Yeah.
was a longtime assistant. Bud was a Bud something Holzer or something.
Budweiser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he bounced from the Hawks to be a champion with the Bucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say he won with the Bucks. Yeah.
And while Steve Kerr, yes, he got the victory, but it was Mark Jackson who set up the Warriors, but Steve Kerr reaped from the benefits. So that goes as another win for Pop on his protege winning list. Sorry, Mark Jackson.
Yeah, and the other big thing, real quick, I did want to talk just like how, about Lonnie Walker. He's been working with with Manu, and
Okay.
I started watching highlights and stuff like that. So where he's just kind of showing them like different ways of playing basketball, like the more like how Manu was, where he was just like kind of like flexible or whatever, and the things he would do were like it would just like, was that a dribble? Was that a travel double dribble or whatever? Like, no, it was just kind of that's like the Euro step and stuff like that. So he's kind of I feel like Donnie was talking how where more than anything he's teaching him how to be aggressive and how to not have fear of of the moment. So now he's Lonnie's been shooting the ball a little bit better and stuff like that. But just that's kind of crazy how that like in that way, where it's true that just how I feel like the as a player, like stuff like that, like Manu. I knew Manu was gonna come back. He's more of the coach out of our the big three that left. So Duncan ain't gonna do anything, and Parker's just doing his thing. But I feel like he's like one of the perfect examples of like, yeah, man, I've been here way too long. I can't I can't just leave. You know, like I have to come back, and I have to come back. But it's just one of those where like, oh man, like this feels like home. You know, whatever. So I'm glad that Manu's kind of helping the young squad. I'm glad that Lonnie's getting all the support and mentorship that he can. I'm glad that the Spurs are doing as good as bad as they might be doing. I'm glad that they're playing through it. Murray's being Murray. I mean, he is like I said, he's being a big star right now. Keldon, I expect a little bit more of him. I wish he would be a little bit more aggressive again, but we'll see as the season goes.
Nice. And not to deduct from Spurs talk, it's just something that just happened recently. And this Suns Portland game, I think Chris Paul just became the first player to amass 20,000 points in 10,000 assists. So, damn, that guy didn't get a ring. Like, I don't know, like, how many times, like, where do you find the devil decide to like, sell your soul? Because this guy's just doing everything but sell his soul to the devil.
I was gonna say, yeah, dude. God.
He's a Hall of Fame ballot, first ballot Hall of Famer, Chris Paul. Just damn, just get that guy an honorary ring. Just do it.
Just get him like a day contract in the finals.
Oh shit! No, sorry to interject. We're talking about Spurs, something that happened right now. But no, any final comments going forward before we close out the show, buddy?
No, just this obviously we'll have the show on Thursday, but we are gonna switch it up a little bit for like our live shows and stuff like that. Again for next year. Next year, oh my god, it's like in 3 weeks. but starting, we'll definitely let you guys know all the details on that. And we're gonna go ahead and start getting a little bit more active on Twitter as well. I don't know, it's gonna be fun this year. It's gonna be good vibes. And what's yours? What do you got? Your shirt.
Oh, I got a picture of the wise man Yoda, and it says, "Elf, I am not." Can you see the whole thing?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
There we go. Dude, he looks all grumpy.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, so, okay, well, yeah, there we go. Alright, and then, also as well, guys, we're gonna do little videos, also, just the whole Mezzo Forte Sportz crew. You guys have before we, start getting towards the end of the show, also as well, make sure you guys have a very safe these holidays, as you guys go out shopping, stuff like that, or with your families, wherever you travel. I know it's still pretty dangerous out there in terms of just like in general, how the holidays can be. People kind of go crazy, and it's raining and stuff like that. So yeah, just make sure don't go crazy, stampeding or whatever, like at the mall or whatever. You guys be careful with all that stuff. The reason why I even bring this up at all is because I actually recently went Christmas shopping. I just went to the mall. I just went to go pick up a couple things, and I'm like, God dang, dude, people like fighting and pushing out. I'm like, damn, dude, like it's not that serious, man. Like this is small right here. Like I don't know. But yeah, you guys just be careful. Yeah. You guys just be careful, and out there. But that's just my kind of final thoughts. You want to bring it home?
No, yes, definitely wishing everybody happy holidays out there, no matter what holiday you celebrate. I know we're coming on to a long winter break with all the kids getting out of school, whatnot. Just, be safe out there, travel. Visit some friends or family you haven't seen in a while. Spread the good love and the cheer and whatnot. You keep on watching the Mezzo. Watch your sports that you like. All those good weird ass named bowl games for college. As we wind down the 2021 year, a lot of ups and downs. We'll try to end it on a high mark. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
All right, let's go ahead and. Yeah, that's a good message. All right. You need to start doing more of your message of the day, stuff like that. But, alright, guys, so there's that siren again. You'll know what time it is. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this week's episode. Everyone put your hands up. Thank you guys so much for chilling with us today. Go ahead and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Go ahead and check out our podcast. It's actually going to come next year on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. I want to thank you so much for all our sponsors. Music and graphics provided by Studio 13th Day. Also, partner affiliate, Devil Dog Detailing. Go ahead and check that out. This is Danny BMD. Signing off, saying laters to all. I love you. Good night. Bring it home, Art. Boom.
Thank you, Dan. Lesson of the day is in the holiday spirit. Chef Curry is making it rain threes with his stroke so bright. And looks like the Brooklyn Nets are hoping for a Kyrie Irving for Christmas. But remember, sports are great, but I mean nothing without you all the fans. This is episode number 86. Until next time, folks, be cool, be safe, all keep on listening to the Mezzo Forte Sportz.
Yeah. Let me scratch it.
Come Santa Claus.
Alright guys, my bad. I was just messing with the program. Alright guys, thank you guys so much. You guys have a good night.